Good afternoon, Patrick. Congratulations on getting to this point. You being one of the top players at your position, who were some of the people that you looked up to or modeled your game after, or took some pieces to add to your arsenal in the NFL ranks?
Well, I just look at corners that's my body type and that has my skill set, sort of. I study a lot of Jalen Ramsey, Jair Alexander, Tre'Davious White, Patrick Peterson, Xavier Howard, those guys, because I feel like my skill set could carry on to their type of skill set in the league and translate.
Aaron Suttles, go ahead.
And Patrick, you guys were so young in the secondary last year, 4 or 5 new starters. Who did you see really grow up last year, and how do you think that will play benefits for this year's team?
I just believe like the freshmen that we had last year. I think just Malachi, Brian Branch, all those guys. I think they grew tremendously throughout the course of the season, and it showed how much they took on, how much they've grown, getting the playbook, getting comfortable out there. I just believe that, as the season went on, later on to the season, they played their best ball.
George Stoya, go ahead.
Hey, Pat. I was just wondering if you've spoken with the Broncos, and then I have a follow-up question after that.
No, I haven't spoken with them.
What do you maybe know about the Broncos defense? They've made some pretty big free agency signings with Kyle Fuller and Ronald Darby at corner. How would you maybe fit in that defense?
I haven't gotten particular with their defense, but I just think that whatever scheme they want to put me in, or whatever scheme that they got going on, I believe I'll fit well into.
Rob Kusner, go ahead.
Hey, Patrick. The Eagles just traded back to a spot where it looks like a defensive player could be in on their radar. I'm wondering, have you spoken to the Eagles? What do you know about their situation? And then the other names that a lot of Eagle fans were paying attention to were, two of your teammates, Jalen and Devontae. Can you explain what it's like to go against those guys when you go against them like you do in practice? Thank you.
Well, first off, I haven't spoken to him yet. I just spoke to a lot of teams so far. But, going against those guys in practice, I think it helped me better as a player going against them, competing against them. Like I said, going in every week, you're confident going into the game because you're not going to face as many receivers like them. So in practice, I treat it like a game-like atmosphere. And, just competing against them, I'm pretty sure I made them better, and at the same time, they made me better.
Thank you.
Casagrande, go ahead.
Yeah, we were just talking to Dylan. He was talking about playing through a torn meniscus during the season. Did you notice that? Did you know that? And, what does it say about him that he was able to play through that?
I didn't know that until he said it after the season. But for him to play through that just goes to show you how tough he is, how much of a competitor he is. Just to go through an injury like that, it's sort of like, just shows his toughness and how much he wants to be out there on the field. Hats off to him. He's done a tremendous job last year, and, he was a vital leader in defense. So just to have him out there, it was just a great thing.
Jacob Infante, go ahead.
Hey, Patrick, appreciate you taking the time out to talk to us today. I want to talk a little bit about what goes through your head in terms of pre-snap diagnosis and depending on certain coverages, what you look for in receivers and coverage in terms of what type of coverage to play and how to basically determine what kind of route they're running. Thank you.
Well, first off, it starts in the film room. You look at a lot of those things in the film room. The eye in the sky tells everything. So, just dissecting those little things in film, then when you go on the field, you'll absolutely just notice what's about to happen beforehand. And just reading the receiver, you just got to look at, just depending on his split, tendencies throughout the offensive scheme. Because through offensive schemes, they run a variety of route concepts and stuff like that. So, just getting the great intake on that and understanding what they like to do beforehand will help you a lot.
John Shearer, go ahead.
Hey, Pat, how are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm doing well. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. So growing up, high on the Dolphins personally, I know your dad pretty well, watching pretty good. What would it mean to you to land on the Dolphins or the Chiefs places that he has played, mainly the Dolphins, where he really made a career for himself. What would that mean to you to land with Miami? Thank you.
It'll be a blessing, just wherever team I go to, it'll be a blessing in disguise. But I feel like if I go there, it'll just be another stepping stone, another legacy that continues like he's done before. But at the same time, whatever team I go to in the meantime, so I just will feel blessed. I just can't wait for the opportunity. Just when draft day comes, wherever team picks me, I'll be grateful.
Scott Petrak, go ahead.
Hey, Patrick, what's the best part and worst part of having your dad as your coach?
The best part is just learning from him each and every day, understanding, taking his knowledge with me and carrying it on. He's a great coach. He'll want you to do better, perfect your craft each and every day. And I don't think there's no worst things about it. I think just all in all, when you around him, you understand that he wants what's best for you, and he'll coach you like it. So at the end of the day, it's all love.
Karita Parks, go ahead.
Yes, hi, Patrick. You mentioned Jair Alexander earlier, and he was considered the best cornerback in his draft class, and as well as you are. From your perspective, what would you say makes your game so special and unique going into the NFL?
I think I'm just all-around great corner. I'm physical, got great technique, could play off and man coverage. I think, and plus my IQ is off the charts, so I just feel like those things could translate into the NFL very well. And, just playing the position for a long time, I think my experience level at it and understanding different things that goes around the cornerback position will help me elevate my game to the next level.
Sheena Quick, go ahead.
Hi, Patrick. There's been a lot of talk about the quarterbacks in this draft. A lot of teams that are picking early have a lot of glaring needs. Can you talk a little bit about your ability to turn the tide of a franchise from that cornerback position?
Yeah, just going back to it, like I said before, I think my main thing is, just providing a defense with a capable cornerback that does everything, tackles, interceptions, all that, cover, just a cornerback needs. I think I got all of it, all the traits, all the skill sets that's necessary to be a successful corner.
D. Orlando Ledbetter, go ahead.
Yeah, Patrick, just like a couple years back, there was a lot of talk about the quarterbacks and so forth, but then the Browns went with Denzel Ward at 4. What's your case for going that high, and have you talked to the Falcons?
I just think that, whatever team picks me, like I said, I think I'll be excited for the opportunity. I don't really care on which pick I go to, which round I'm in. I'm just ready to play and for whatever organization that picks me.
Elaine Poupart, go ahead. Elaine? All right. Kyle Fahey, go ahead.
Hold on.
Kyle Fahey, go ahead.
Hey, Pat. Kyle Fahey here from the Brawl Network. I just wanted to talk about your consistency as a player. You've never allowed over 60% completion percentage. You've had 21 pass breakups in your career, only allowed 4 touchdowns. What about your process personally makes you so consistent, and how does that translate to the next level?
I just think my consistency stands off the charts. Just coming day in and day out, knowing what I need to do to go out there and perform at a high level. I think that's what's a separation factor from me. I'm consistent day in and day out every week. I play to a high level each and every week, so that's something that my game has definitely improved on throughout my years. But I think I'm very consistent when it comes to film and cornerback play.
Griffin Floyd, go ahead.
Hey, Pat. So we've seen the two high safety look kind of come back in the NFL. The Buccaneers used it to great success in the Super Bowl. How do you think that role would fit in with your physicality at the line of scrimmage?
I think it's fitting well. You know, it'll be a lot of bump and run. You know, you could a lot of too high looks. You know, it gives the offense a tough time because sometimes you get disguised a too high look, make it go to one high, but at the same time it'll help my game because I can be more physical at the line of scrimmage. You know.
Doug Farrar, go ahead.
Hey, Pat, looking at your stats and your tape, especially in any kind of man coverage, but specifically two-man to bounce off that too-high safety, what is it that makes you such a dominant man corner kind of everywhere on the field? What about your skill set tailors so well to man coverage?
I just think my patience at the line, my poise. I just think that, I'm very fundamental when it comes to press. Eyes on the hips. Feet and hands. Just patient at the line of scrimmage, and just forcing the receiver to release and dictate where he's gonna go.
Joey Polizzi, go ahead.
Hey, Pat, how are you today?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. So just talk a little bit about, I have two questions here. How much of an inspiration is your dad? And then have you spoken with the Dallas Cowboys?
My dad's been a huge inspiration in my life. Just from him molding me and just, raising me to the young man I am today. I'm very thankful for him. He's taught me a lot of things, on and off the field, whether it's in football and just in life, just him having a tremendous impact on my life. It definitely means a lot. And I haven't talked to them yet.
Jose Gabriel Gomez, go ahead. Jose Gomez, go ahead. All right. Alex Fleming.
Hi. Yeah, I can hear me. Hi.
Go ahead.
Hi, Patrick. Sorry, technical problems. I have two questions about the Cowboys specifically. How you well fit in Dan Quinn's cover 3 scheme that plays a lot more zone than man? How you well fit in that scheme in case the Cowboys select you in the NFL draft? And second, how you talk to Trevon Diggs, former Alabama player, your teammate, and now at Dallas Cowboys? How you talk to him about how will we like to work together in the Cowboys, and told you something about the team?
I haven't talked to the Cowboys yet. I'm still talking to some teams, so I haven't talked to them in some sorts. But I talked to Diggs before. We just been talking about football and stuff like that. So, he's still my friend and all in all. So, we still communicate through phone. So, yeah.
Mateus, go ahead.
Patrick, here's Mateus from Timeout on Brazil. Congratulations for going for the NFL draft. Last week, some players talked about how Alabama prepares you for the NFL, and we know how many defenders we have of this Bama on NFL. So what you can talk about it, the way you work, and how do you think that being in a program like Alabama prepare you for the NFL?
Being at Alabama, it prepared me, tremendously for the NFL, especially when it comes down to, the professional program and how we do things around here. We just treat everything like a business-like situation, first of all. But, on the field, the different techniques, the different coverages that we went through, the whole playbook, understanding film, I think it helped prepare me for the next level. Learning a lot of things here. The tremendous amount of resources that Alabama has provided me with too as well will help me carry it on to the next level.
Michael Gelkin, go ahead.
What was your relationship like with Trayvon? You guys were at Alabama together, and I know you've said that you'd be happy to join any team in the league, any team that drafts you, but would it be special to line up across from him years to come and be reunited in that way?
Yeah, it is. He's my brother for life. But just lining up with him again, it'll be a special feeling. It'll be like college again, of course. And we understand each other a lot. Just going through our years through college, so it'll just be like another day here at Alabama.
Antonio Carlos Jr., go ahead.
Hey Patrick, Antonio from Brazil. You already talked about your father, his importance for you, but now you're entering the NFL. Do you think about with his numbers and have an even greater career than his?
You know, I just not trying to compare my career, my dad's career, but you know, just looking at his career, he had an ultimately great career. He had 12-year career. Like I said, I could control what I could control by just going out there and playing my game the best I can. And at the end of the day, his legacy is his legacy, and now I'm just trying to build on my legacy.
Alex Fleming,
thank
go
you.
ahead. Alex Fleming, go ahead.
Thank you, sir. Alex Fleming, Florida Sun. How you doing today, sir?
I'm good. How you doing?
Not too bad. Personally, between you and me, you remind me of Champ Bailey. Anyway, a lot of SEC corners and defensive backs have smoke claiming that they're the best in the SEC, from Coates to a gentleman up in South Carolina. What separates you from the pack? And question number 2, there's monsters in the NFC South and the NFC West. What wide receiver would give you the most fits?
Well, first of all, I just believe that I'm the best in the SEC just because of my consistency and my experience, playing here for 3 years, and, just staying consistent and, playing my game at a high level, each and every week. I think that's what separates me. But, any receiver, I haven't looked at any receivers as like a person I want to go against. I just look forward to every receiver that comes in and week out, and I'm just looking forward to play against them.
All right, we got time for one more question. Elaine Poupart, go ahead.
Hi, Patrick. Sorry about the earlier technical malfunction. So I'm curious to know if you've seen any highlights or game film from your dad from his career, and if you can pick out similarities and differences in your game and his game. And also quickly, if you've had discussions with him that he was a second-round pick and looks like you're going to beat him out as a first-round pick.
Yeah, I looked at his highlights plenty of times. I think they got some of his highlights on YouTube, some of his games on YouTube, and I'll look at that. And his game and my game are very similar because we like to press, and we're very smart out there, understanding opposing teams' tendencies, and just understanding the cornerback position. That's what our game symbolizes as. But we haven't talked about which round we're gonna go because at the end of the day, I still got to play football. I still got to make a name for myself and still play out there. So it doesn't matter which round or which pick you go to. You still got to play football regardless.
All right, that's all we have time for. Thank you, Pat.
Yep.
Coach Saban will be up